Today in this video I would like to cover some things that I sent in my Balikbayan box. I'm not going to show every tiny detail of everything I sent, but I'm going to hit some of the highlight things, the stuff that's hard for me to find here, or not the style, maybe you can find it but it's not the style you want, that I shipped here, and it just makes our lives a little easier here. Things I can use for long term in the future. So let me get started here, and I'm going to show you a few things, starting with one thing I'm doing right now. And one of those things being this little French press coffee maker right here. Not this is just a boiling pot. This. I absolutely love this, making fresh brewed hot coffee. Not instant coffee like here in the Philippines, but fresh brewed coffee. And things we send in Balikbayan boxes as well is we send coffee from the US. We love this McCafe. It is actually very, very good. We send other brands of coffee as well, you know, the full ground coffee. Oh man, that smells good opening that. So we always boil water up in this little boiling pot right here. We'll usually fill it up, take all the extra, pour in this thermos, and then we have extra hot water for the rest of the day. So it don't take very much, just a tiny bit of coffee right there in this little scoop. Put that in there. What I usually do so I don't put too much water is I'll take my cup and pre-measure. If I'm just making 1 cup or 2, I use the cup as a measuring. Pour it in there. Try to keep all of it in there, not on the counter. It's alright, it's a good time to clean the counter then. Fresh hot water. Push this down in here. And you see this has a strainer here. Let me slide this out and show you a little bit more here. It has like a fine mesh green wire around the edge right there. And in the bottom. And a little spring that seals tight around the edges. And then this is like a secondary strainer at the top. So here we go. We'll just put this down in here. Just push this handle down. It's a little more difficult making 1 cup than it is 2 or 3. But what I usually do is just work this up and down right there, and then let it set just a little bit. You can, like I say, work it up and down. It kind of brews that coffee, and it does a great job. And there you go, you come out with a very nice fresh brewed cup of coffee. And like I say, if you're out even camping and you can take one of these, you might be able to find them. It's not glass. I like this glass ones. I like seeing it. But you can, these are cheap, and you can take it with you. And if you can just even boil water over fire and you want some fresh brewed coffee, but there you have it, right there. Oh, that's some good coffee right there too. Very, very good. So now let me show you a couple more things. So in the video of me welding that day, yeah, some of y'all laughed because I was wearing flip-flops and welding, talking about some slag hitting my feet. Yeah, I'm a pro. No burns on my feet. I know where to keep the distance. But it's just a small job I was doing, so I wasn't worried about like going and getting all geared up for one tiny thing. But one thing that here in the Philippines, talking about safety on welding and protecting your eyes and your eyesight for a long term, is a welding hood, a face shield with a darkened lens to protect your eyes. I have been watching it my whole 15 years here, throughout all the country, of Filipinos welding with nothing, no eye protection, no sunshades even, just their eyes open welding. It will burn your eyes up, and so many of them end up with bad eyesight too. Or they'll start and squint and they'll do this dab weld, which is a horrible weld. A horrible weld. Or they'll wear just a regular pair of sunshades, and that light will leak in all around. That is a very powerful light off of that, and you'll still damage your eyes. Or the shades just are not dark enough. It takes way darker than what a pair of sunshades provides, and they are damaging their eyesight. And man, I'm gonna tell you, your eyesight is your life. Well, then the other thing they have for a welding hood is this little shield right here, this little handheld shield. Well, it's not bad. I mean, it's not bad, but it's really thin, you see. Like I said, light can come around. They're pretty cheesy made. There's a lot of homemade ones too. They'll just get the glass only and make their own. You hold on to it here with a little handle, but I like to have both of my hands free. Maybe you're trying to help hold a piece of material in place or something with the other hand, and or even your balance to hold yourself steady while you're welding. But your hands occupied holding this little thing right here that is not very good, not very good at all. Let me tell you something else. Let me see if I can get it just right. I don't know if I can or not, but there is places that light is leaking through this, and I see it, and you can't even have a pinhole or it can get your eyes. One day I went looking for a welding hood here, and I went to all the big box stores around here at Iloilo. Now, I'm not saying that there's absolutely no place that has them, but they definitely weren't easy to find. And the best I found was this bigger handheld face shield, but at least it wraps around and it cups over the top some. This was the best I could find. So there you go, that one or that one. And both of those are an improvement over the alternative of wearing a pair of shades or nothing at all. Crazy. So this bigger one right here, here's how much I gave for it. Look at that, 135 pesos. That is maybe, you know, a little over $2. About, what would that be, like $2.60 something? I'm just kind of rounding, but under $3, under $3 right there. Yeah. You're probably going, okay, so you're showing us all this. Thought you was going to show what you sent in your Balikbayan box, and that's what I'm leading up to. Exactly what I'm leading up to. I sent an auto darkening welding helmet. And if for any of you who don't know what an auto darkening means, you don't have to lift it up and down. I see what you're doing. This lens will be clear while you're trying to see what you're doing. You keep the helmet down, and the second you strike an arc, it switches from clear to dark shade. See right there? Look at that. Switching speed, clear to dark. Auto darkening lens, solar powered with battery assistance, automatic power on and off with adjustable time delay, variable shade control. Now, I bought this, and I believe that was at Harbor Freight. They had these on sale cheap. I could not believe how cheap they had these on sale. I think that I only gave like $30 US for this. So here it is right here. Here it is. Of course, I had to get blue because I like blue. It's my favorite color. They had choices there, and I said, yep, there's my color right there. Perfect. So this is it. Peel this off here, and you see you got a solar panel right here. Turn that where it's not shining. So you got a solar panel right here, and you got your auto shade lens right there. And then this is a clear piece of glass on the outside that's replaceable. And I probably need to get some replacements for it and bring them here next trip, that as your slag and things like that pop, and it makes little burn marks on this will protect your main lens and your solar lens from getting scarred up. So I definitely want to get some replacement glass for this and have those on hand here. So right there is some of the Philippine options here. Let me show you all the Philippine options. Yeah, let's start out with nothing. Pair of sunshades, handheld with a single lens, whether it's homemade, an improved bigger one, handheld, or get a good welding hood. And it doesn't have to be an auto shade. You can get one with a full big lens like this. This is the darkened glass with a clear over it that you'll have to raise up and down. But why they are not using these here more, I don't know. I really don't know. Next thing I send is drill bits. These Ryobi bits, they're not real expensive, and I've had pretty good luck out of them. The quality's not too bad. Out here in a province area like where I'm at, if I need to get a drill bit, sometimes it can be tough. They do have some choices up here at the hardware stores, but that famous word so many times when you go out of stock, out of stock. You might want one size and they don't have it, they'll give you the next size. Well, that next size may not work what you're doing. You might need that exact size. So because of that, I like to keep drill bits on hand, and bits get broken. So when I find a deal on these in the US and it's not too expensive, I send them. Even if I end up with a lot of duplicates, it's okay. Drill bits are precious when you're working on stuff, building stuff. And I've had pretty good luck out of these bits right here. Another thing I send is multiple packets of these DeWalt tips for the Phillips, Torx, and all, to go in my impact. These are also very important. I have the best luck for myself out of the DeWalt. And let me tell you, I went and bought several different brands. I bought Milwaukee, I bought different ones and tried them. And I found that these DeWalt bits right here, these tips were the best ones that I found that did a good job for me. But you tell me which ones work best for you. Any of y'all out there watching these videos, share your information. You might share something that I can try out that's better than what I'm currently using. But price wise, these seem to be really good. I tried Ryobi's brand and I didn't like them that much. I like the DeWalt. So the next thing that I sent inside the Balikbayan box is this Arctic cooler right here. It's not a Yeti, it's an Arctic. We like to travel. When things open up back around here in the Philippines, we'll be back in that truck right there, and we'll be back on the road doing videos and traveling around seeing things. And this Arctic cooler right here will keep our things cold for a long while that we want to take with us. For you Filipinos that are here inside the Philippines and you're not familiar with these, there are several brands of these out there. These keep cold for a long time. They're not like your typical ice chest, your typical cooler. They exceed that by many times how long they keep things cold or warm. You can actually keep stuff hot inside of there as well. Works both ways. I sent a vacuum sealer. Yep, a vacuum sealer. Here's the bags that you cut for it. But in the future, if we're going to raise chicken again, or maybe we want to buy a local raised little calf or yearling or something like that and butcher it ourselves, we want to have these bags so that we can preserve that meat and freeze it and have it. So and we're really thinking about doing that. I'm thinking about buying a calf off of a local around here somewhere, feeding it off and butchering it myself just like I do back in Texas. Another thing I sent is these deck mate screws right here. Now, I'm going to admit my faults. I mean, this is a channel that I'm trying to show and teach, and I'm also trying to learn, and I will admit my faults. When I sent screws here in the past to put these forms together so we could easily unscrew them, rescrew them without beating on them with hammers and trying to pull out nails and stuff, I sent Phillips head screws, and they are absolutely horrible. Well, some of my subscribers made the very, very good suggestion to send the Torx instead. Yes, the Star Drive as it's called, not the Phillips. And it'll be where the guys won't be slipping and burning up those tips like I showed you a few minutes ago, those DeWalt tips. So easy. So this is just one box that I sent. I think this was how many? 10 pounds of 3-inchers. And these are coated. Now that's the next thing. The ones I sent and the Phillips were not coated. They were just steel, raw steel. And here near the salt, they also tend to try to rust very fast. So I sent these coated ones here. I can use these again and again and again on this building project. Then the next item I sent, caulk, DAP caulk. Another item that I find getting any good quality caulk here. They have some caulk, but I would not call it quality. I'm not beating up the Philippines. I'm not saying that there's not some big buildings built out of quality sealants and caulks. But a lot of times those things are put together on orders, brought in, say they're going to build a big hotel or something. They're not going to the local hardware stores to buy that stuff. 40 year. Even DAP has different qualities in this. Go ahead and just spend a little extra and get the best one. I've had nothing but good success out of DAP's products. So there it is right there. I sent 30 cartridges of it, a full case. So here we go. So I told you about the coffee already. We'll send these. You can buy this here. They sell it in S&R, and the price will be almost double to triple. It is insane. Right here is what it is. Original replacement style. It's not OEM, but almost. Replacement mirror, and that is for my truck right there. I have right now 2 different mirrors on it. I have a later model style and an old style right there. And as you can see, even the whole back half is busted off of it. Yeah, so new mirrors for the Toyota. So there you go right there, brand new mirrors, brand new. And I bought these in the US and they did not even cost much money. For this good quality mirror right here with the power and everything to it, this truck's also power. I bought these for the same money that it would cost me to buy just a piece of junk mirror here in the Philippines. And how I know that is I bought mirrors from my Mitsubishi before, and they were extremely lousy made mirrors that broke within just a few months. So I said, well, I won't make that mistake again. So I bought good quality mirrors right here. I hope they're quality. They seem to be. They're really solid looking. They had really high reviews. Shows are made in Taiwan. They had real good feedback and ratings when I bought these online as well. People that already had them for a while. So there you go right there. Mirrors left and right. So there's more screws, and the 2-inchers are great. This will also come in very handy this week, right here this week for the build. I'll start putting these to use. Now here for the big boy. I sent this jack once again, Harbor Freight in the US, at my house there in Texas. I have 2 of these lightweight Pittsburgh aluminum and steel jacks. I absolutely love them. This is not the biggest one and it's not the smallest. I got one that's kind of in between because it'll come in handy. Me messing with my truck, me messing with the boat. This will definitely come in handy. This is aluminum, this is a casting, and this is steel right here. It's good powder coated. I've had very good luck out of these. They're not heavy. It's got a handle. You can just pick it up and carry it from its side. Very easy to use. And after I purchased that jack that day at Harbor Freight, I realized that at one of our rent houses, one of our renters left behind there in the carport a brand new steel floor jack. I'm like, man, I'm gonna send that one as well. Let me show you. Considered a cheap little floor jack in the US. They sell them a lot of the Walmarts and auto parts stores and all. Just a very basic little jack, but I didn't have to pay nothing for it. The renters left it behind. I'm sure they probably owed past rent and ran out and did damages and all. So a little something in return, but I have all the jacks I need in the US, and I said there is nothing wrong with having a secondary jack there in the Philippines. And this thing was in super good condition, clean, and so I threw it in the box also. And talking about tips and those screws, being that now we'll also be using the Torx here, I bought a whole package of the DeWalt Torx tips for those screws. Okay, I got pizza delivery from Bistro Torrento. Give me just a second, I'll be out there. Yeah, I ordered out today from my friend Eugene. He has Bistro Torrento down here in Pereira, here in the town of Tigbabuan. He has a great little RestoBar, and he's actually done very well during this calamity and got Wise doing deliveries of food out. So look here. I was just telling them about Eugene right here. Bistro Torrento right there. So if any of y'all live nearby, or if you ever pass through Iloilo and you're heading out towards Antique or anywhere, and you pass through our little town, Tigbauan, stop right here at Bistro Torrento, right there. Check it out. Eugene's a good close friend, and I enjoy him a lot. So there it is. We got pizza and calamari, right?
Yes.
Here we go right here. Bistro Torrento. Eugene's got a unique place there. He's got his family's got a lot of history in this town. A lot of history in this town. Yeah, his grandpa was a previous mayor of this town as well. And there is a huge history that is actually an international history with his grandpa. He played a huge role on some things in the past. And if you want to know that history, come here and go to Pereira Sur and go to here in Tigbauan, Iloilo, and check out Eugene's place. And you will know that because inside of his RestoBar is like a museum sharing the story of World War II in there, and the part that our town here at Tigbabuan played in that, and as well the history of his grandpa and the story of the roles that he played, not only here locally but in the international community as well. Check him out online. Go to his Facebook page. You can look it up, Bistro Torrento, and hey, he's got a menu there, and you can order if you're here a bit nearby, and they can deliver as well. My goodness, look at that pizza. Man, this is supreme right here, and it is looking good. And Mel was craving for some calamari, so there's your calamari as well.
Good.
I'm gonna steal one.
Tastes good.
Mm-hmm. So I have something else in here that same renter left behind. He left the jack. He left a set of jack stands as well. And I can always use jack stands. We actually welded up and made some ourselves here before. And these things I can utilize here. I have plenty of jack stands in the US. I have big heavy duty ones and all. But these will be handy because I like to work on things. But there's something else I use these stands for. When we leave and we go back to Texas, I like to put these stands underneath the axles so if I had a tire to leak down or go flat while we're gone, it doesn't smash my tire down flat, damage my sidewall, put a crease in it, get your tire out around where it shakes when you go down the road. Or you just damage it beyond even repair if it stays smashed down and flat. Put a split in the rubber. Now another thing that's in this package right here, I don't want to unwrap it right now, I'm going to leave it protected, is a hood scoop for my truck. Yep, this will be a hood scoop up there on the hood towards the back, right there where you see how that's humped up, or right towards the back on that, this will go. I added an intercooler to this turbo diesel. It did not come with an intercooler, and they had a problem of getting a hot spot in the heads on this truck. When you see in the US back in the beginning, Ford and different ones, they really labeled intercooled diesel, because that was very important to have an intercooled diesel. So I put the intercooler up at the top. That's the way Toyota themselves is doing them now, on top of the motor. It wasn't designed to have one down here in the front. There was no good space to put one in the front without heavy modification. So I did the same as Toyota adopted with, and I put it right on the top. Well, if it's on the top, it needs air induction. That's what they did on the Fortuners and all. It's got the D4D engine, is they put it on top and with air induction. So this is going to go on the hood, and I'll cut a hole in that hood, and it'll have air induction right down into the intercooler. Right now, it's been sitting down on the floor and it's dirty, but this is a juicer for squeezing lemons, limes, oranges, Man, this is great. My father had lemonade stands, concession trailers. The main thing was lemonades and limeades and Hawaiian shaved ice, uh, hot apple cider teas. He ran those trailers for 18 years at Canton at First Monday Trades Day for 18 years, 3 locations down there in Texas. Canton First Monday Trades Day is very well known and popular, as well up in Bowie, Texas at Second Monday, and as well as South Fort Ranch, where the famous TV series Dallas was filmed, and many other places, fairgrounds, and all around. And this was one of my father's juicers for squeezing those lemons and limes. I have many of them, and you know, I'm in a tropical country full of fruits, and where could a better place be? And every time I use it, it gives me back the memories of those times. But all my daughters, they were so cute and little, and they'd be out washing the lemons and limes out the back of the session trailer for my dad. Uh, it was some really good times during those years. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment, tell about the things that you send in Balikbayan boxes if you want to share. Other people read these comments, and so your comments could help someone else as well with further ideas. I appreciate all your support always. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. And until next time, see ya.